And I'm Aisha Casely-Hayford, and this evening we're presenting for you Oscar Wilde's seminal play,
The Importance of Being Earnest.
Now, for those of you who know the play and those who don't, there are more than two people in this play.
This evening presented to you by just two actors. Now, our directors called it visionary, groundbreaking, I think was the word.
Yeah.
I call it budget cut.
We're going to start by letting you know the characters that we're playing. So, tonight, Kuds, last night and all, I'll take 5, you take 4.
Be my guest.
Super. Kudsy will be playing Mr. Jack Worthing.
Jack.
Miss Cecily Cardew.
Cecily.
Dr. Frederick Chasuble.
Dr. Chasuble.
And Lane.
Lane.
And I shall be playing Lady Bracknell.
The whole of the biggest part.
Oh, for goodness sake, Kuds, can you handle it?
Let us see. Aisha will also Algernon Moncrief.
Algie.
Miss Gwendolyn Fairfax.
Gwendolyn Fairfax.
Miss Letitia Prism.
Miss Prism.
And Merriman. Shall we? The importance of being earnest, Act 1.
Cucumber sandwiches, sir. Help yourself. Take more than one. Cucumber sandwiches, and for you, cucumber sandwiches, cucumber sandwiches, cucumber sandwiches, cucumber sandwiches. Go on, take, over you. Go on. Have more than one. You always say polite. Excellent. Everyone here goes well with rosé. Yes, exactly. Cucumber sandwiches. Excellent, sir. Cucumber sandwiches. Cucumber. Okay, you make me look like you really, yes.
Are you actually eating them or are you just holding them? Just holding them.
As far as the piano is concerned, sentiment is my forte. I leave science for life.
Yes, sir.
And speaking of the science of life, Lane, have you got those cucumber sandwiches cut for Lady Bracknell?
Yes, sir.
Oh, by the way, Lane, I saw from your book that on Thursday night, when Lord Shorman and Mr. Worthing were dining with me, 8 bottles of champagne are entered as having been consumed.
Yes, sir. 8 bottles and a pint.
Why is it that at a bachelor's establishment the servants invariably drink all the champagne? I ask merely for information.
I attribute it to the superior quality of the wine, sir. I've often observed that in married households the champagne is very rarely of a first-rate brown.
Good heavens, is marriage so demoralising as that?
I believe it is a pleasant state, sir. I've very little experience of it myself. I've only been married the once. That was in consequence of a misunderstanding.
I don't think I'm much interested in your personal life, Lane.
But these people might be, sir.
No, they're really not.
Well, it isn't an interesting subject. I hardly think on it myself.
Very natural, I'm sure. That'll do, Lane.
Thank you, sir.
Lane's views on marriage seem somewhat lax. Really? If the lower orders don't set us a good example, what on earth is the use of them? They seem as a class to have no sense of moral responsibility.
Mr. Ernest Worthing.
How are you, my dear Ernest? What brings you up to town?
No, pleasure, pleasure. What else should bring one anywhere? Eating as usual, Algernon.
I believe it's customary in good society to take a slight refreshment at 5 o'clock. Where have you been since last Thursday?
In the country.
What on earth do you do there?
When one is in town, one amuses oneself. When one is in the country, one amuses other people. It's excessively boring.
And who are the people you amuse?
Oh, neighbours.
Got nice neighbours in your part of Shropshire?
Perfectly horrid. Never speak to one of them.
How immensely you must amuse them. By the way, it is Shropshire that is your county, is it not?
Eh? Shropshire? Oh, yes, Shropshire.
Augusta and Gwendolen.
How delightful.
That's all very well and good, but I'm afraid Aunt Augusta won't quite approve of your being here.
May I ask why?
My dear fellow, the way you flirt with Gwendolen is perfectly disgraceful. It's almost as bad as the way Gwendolen flirts with you.
I'm in love with Gwendolen. I've come up to town expressly to propose to her.
I thought you'd come up on pleasure. I call that business.
How utterly unromantic you are.
I really don't see anything romantic about proposing. Why, one might be accepted and the fun is all over. Please don't touch the cucumber sandwiches. They're ordered specially for Aunt Augusta. Have some bread and butter. Gwendolen is devoted to bread and butter.
Very good bread and butter it is too.
No, you act as if you're married to her already, and quite frankly, I don't think you ever will be.
Why on earth would you say that?
I don't give my consent.
Your consent?
My dear fellow, Gwendolen is my first cousin. And before I allow you to marry her, you will have to clear up the whole question of Cecily.
Cecily? What on earth do you mean?
Lane, bring me that cigarette case that Mr. Worthing left in the smoking room last time he dined here. Stage direction. Lane gives Algie the cigarette case.
Do you mean to say you have had my cigarette case this entire time? I wish to goodness you'd let me know. I've been writing frantic letters to Scotland Yard about it. I was very nearly offering a large reward.
Well, I wish you would offer one. I happen to be more than usually hard up.
What's the use offering a large reward now that the thing is found?
Well, I think that's rather mean of you, Ernest, I must say. However, it makes no difference, for now that I look at the inscription inside, I see that the thing isn't yours after all.
Of course it's mine, Algernon. You've seen me with it 100 times. Besides, it's a very ungentlemanly thing to do to read what's written inside a private cigarette case.
No, it's absurd to have a hard and fast rule about what one should read and what one shouldn't. Most of modern culture depends on what one shouldn't read.
I am well aware of the fact. I do not propose to discuss modern culture. I simply want my case back.
Yes. But this isn't your cigarette case. This cigarette case is a present from someone with the name of Cecily, and you said you don't know anyone of that name.
Well, if you want to know, Cecily happens to be my aunt.
Your aunt?
Yes. Charming old lady. Lives in Tunbridge Wells.
Why does she call herself Little Cecily if she's your aunt and lives at Tunbridge Wells? Do have a look for me, madam. From Little Cecily with her fondest love. Thank you.
What on earth is there in that? Some aunts are tall. Some aunts are not tall. Surely that is something an aunt ought to be able to decide for herself. You seem to think that every aunt should be exactly like your aunt. That is absurd. And for goodness sake, Algernon, give me back my cigarette case.
Yes. But why does your aunt call you her uncle? From Little Cecily with her fondest love to her dear Uncle Jack. There's no objection, I admit, to an aunt being a small aunt. But why an aunt, no matter what her size may be, should call her own nephew her uncle, I can't quite make out. And besides, your name isn't Jack at all. It is Ernest.
It isn't Ernest. It's Jack.
You have always told me it was Earnest. I've introduced you to everyone as Ernest. You answer to the name of Ernest. It's absurd you saying your name is Ernest. You look as if your name was Ernest. It's Ernest. It's on your business cards. Have a look, sir. Mr. Ernest Worthing, B4 the Albany. I'll keep this as a proof your name is Ernest if ever you try to deny it to me or to Gwendolen or to anybody else.
My name is Ernest in town and Jack in the country. And I was given to me in the country.
Yes. But that does not explain why your small Aunt Cecily, who lives at Tunbridge Wells, calls you her uncle. Come on, old boy, you better have the thing out at once.
Oh, you talk exactly as if you were a dentist. It's a very vulgar thing to talk like a dentist when one isn't a dentist. It produces a false impression.
Well, that is exactly what dentists always do. Now, come on, old boy, tell me the whole thing. And I might mention, I've always suspected you of being a confirmed and secret bumberist.
Bumberist?
Mm-hmm.
What on earth do you mean?
I'll reveal to you the meaning of that incomparable
consider a case first.
Here it is. Now produce your explanation, and pray, make it improbable.
Oh, there's nothing improbable about it at all. In fact, it's perfectly ordinary.
Come on then.
Old Mr. Thomas Cardew, who adopted me when I was a little boy, made me in his will guardian to his granddaughter, Miss Cecily Cardew. And Cecily, who addresses me as her uncle, from motives of respect that you cannot possibly appreciate, lives with me at my place in the country, under the charge of her admirable governess, Miss Prism.
Where is that place in the country, by the way?
That is nothing to you. You're not going to be invited. I tell you candidly, the place is not Shropshire.
I suspected that, my dear fellow. I have bumbried all over Shropshire on 2 separate occasions. Now go on. Why are you Ernest in town and Jack in the country?
Algernon, I don't know whether you'll be able to understand. You're hardly serious enough. When one is placed in the position of guardian, what? Anyone here parent or legal guardian? Right, this is for you. When one is placed in the position of guardian, one has to maintain a high moral tone on all subjects, am I right? Yeah. Indeed, it is one's duty to do so, am I right? Yeah. And as a high moral tone can hardly be said to conduce very much to either one's health or one's happiness, am I right? Yeah. Well, in order that I may get up to town, I've always pretended to have a younger brother by the name of Earnest. He gets into the most dreadful scrapes. He lives at my place at the Albany. That, Algernon, is the whole truth, pure and simple.
The truth is rarely pure and never simple. What you are is a bumbrist, one of the most advanced bumbrists I've ever met.
What on earth is a bumbrist?
You have invented a very useful younger brother by the name of Earnest, so that you can come up to town whenever you like. I have invented an invaluable permanent invalid by the name of Bunbury, so that I can go down to the country whenever I choose. Bunbury is perfectly invaluable. If it wasn't for Bunbury's extraordinary bad health, for instance, I wouldn't be able to dine with you at Willis's tonight, for I've really been engaged to Aunt Augusta for more than a week.
I have not asked you to dine with me anywhere tonight.
I know. You're absurdly careless about sending out invitations. It's very foolish of you. Nothing annoys people more than not receiving invitations.
My dear boy, you had much better dine with your Aunt Augusta.
I have no intention of doing anything of the kind. I know exactly who she'll place me next to tonight.
Who?
She'll place me next to Mary Farquhar, who always flirts with her own husband over the dinner table. That's not very pleasant. Indeed, it's not even decent. It's simply washing one's own clean linen in public. Besides, now that I know you're a confirmed Bunburyist, I naturally want to tell you the rules.
I am not a Bunburyist. If Gwendolyn accepts me, I think I might kill Ernest. No, indeed, I think I'll kill him in any case. Cecily's a little too much interested in him. It is rather a bore. And I strongly advise you to do the same with your invalid friend, Mr. Oh, with the absurd name.
Nothing will induce me to part with Bunbury. And if you ever get married, which seems to me extremely problematic, you'll be very glad to know Bunbury. Any man who marries without knowing Bunbury has a very tedious time of it.
What nonsense! If I marry a girl like Gwendolyn, she is the only girl I ever met that I would marry. I certainly won't want to know a Bunbury.
Then your wife will.
What?
That must be Aunt Augusta. Only creditors and relatives ringing that Wagnerian Now, if I just want to wait 10 minutes so that you can have an opportunity of proposing to Gwendolyn, will you let me dine with you at Willis's tonight? Will you let me dine with you at Willis's tonight? Will you let me dine with you at Willis's tonight?
I suppose so, if you want to.
Yes. But you must be serious about it. I hate people who are not serious about meals. It's so shallow of them.
Lady Bracknell and Miss Gwendolyn Fairfax. Good afternoon, Elgin.
Yeah, I'm feeling very well, thank you, Aunt Augusta.
That is not quite the same thing. In fact, the two things are very rarely related.
Good heavens, you are smart, Gwendolyn. I'm always smart, Algy. Am I not? Mr. Worthing.
You are quite perfect, Miss Fairfax.
Well, I hope I'm not that. It would leave no room for developments. And I intend to develop in many directions.
I'm sorry we're a little late, Algernon. I had to stop by Lady Harbury's house. I hadn't seen her since her poor husband's death. I never seen a woman so altered. She looks quite 20 years younger. And now I have one of those nice cucumber sandwiches and a cup of tea you promised me.
Certainly, Aunt Augusta. Lay.
Yes, sir.
Why are there no cucumber sandwiches? I ordered them especially for Aunt Augusta.
The front row ate them all at the beginning.
I'm deeply distressed, Aunt Augusta, about there being no cucumber sandwiches.
No worries, Algernon. I had some crumpets with Lady Harbury. Anyway, I've such a surprise for you tonight. Guess who I'm going to set you down next to? Mary Farquhar! Such a nice woman. So attentive to her husband. It's delightful to watch that.
I'm afraid, Aunt Augusta, I won't be able to dine with you tonight after all.
I hope not, Algernon. Exactly. It will put my whole table out. Your uncle will be forced to dine upstairs. Fortunately, he's accustomed to that.
It's a great bore, Aunt Augusta, and I need hardly say a terrible disappointment to me. But you see, the thing is, I just received a email, to tell me that my poor friend Bunbury is very ill again, and they seem to think that I should be with him.
This friend, Mr. Bunbury, seems to suffer from curiously bad health.
Yes, Bunbury is a terrible invalid.
Well, I would be much obliged if you would ask Mr. Bunbury from me not to have another relapse next Saturday. For I rely on you to arrange my music for me, Algernon. It is my last reception. One wants something that will encourage conversation.
Yes, well, I'll speak to Bunbury, Aunt Augusta, if he's still conscious. And I think I can promise he'll be all right by next Saturday. The music, on the other hand, is a great difficulty. You see, if one plays good music, people don't listen. If one plays bad music, people don't talk. But I'll run through the programme that I've drawn out for you if you'll kindly come into the next room with me for a moment.
That is very kind of you, Algernon. I'm sure the music will be wonderful after a few expurgations. Gwendolyn, you will accompany me.
Certainly not, Mama.
Charming day it has been, Miss Fairfax.
Pray, don't talk to me about the weather, Mr. Worthing. Whenever people talk to me about the weather, I feel quite certain that they mean something else, and that makes me so nervous.
I do mean something else.
I thought so. In fact, I'm never wrong.
And might I be allowed to take advantage of Lady Bracknell's temporary absence?
I would certainly advise you to do so. Mamma has a way of coming back suddenly into a room that I've often had to speak to her about.
Miss Fairfax, ever since I met you, I have admired you more than any girl I have ever met. Ever since I met you.
Yes, I'm quite well aware of the fact, and I've often wished that in public, at any rate, you had been more demonstrative. For me, you've always had an irresistible fascination, ever since Algernon first mentioned to me that he had a friend called Earnest. I knew I was destined to love you.
Do you really mean you love me?
Passionately.
Oh, my darling, you don't know how happy you've made me.
My own Earnest.
But you didn't mean to say you couldn't love me if my name wasn't Ernest?
But your name is Earnest. It suits you perfectly. It is a divine name. It has a music of its own. It produces vibrations.
Yes. I just think there are lots of much other nicer names. I mean, I think the name Jack, for instance. Charming name.
Jack.
Yes.
No. There's very little music in the name Jack, if any at all indeed. It does not thrill. It produces absolutely no vibrations. The only really safe name is Earnest.
Gwendolyn, I must get christened at once. I mean, we must get married at once.
Married? Mr. Worthing?
Surely, Miss Fairfax, you know that I'm in love with you, and you led me to believe that you're not entirely indifferent to me.
I adore you. But you haven't proposed to me yet. Nothing at all has been said about marriage. The subject has not even been touched on.
Well, might I propose to you now?
It would be an admirable opportunity, and to save you any possible disappointment, Mr. Worthing, I feel it only fair to tell you quite frankly beforehand that I'm fully determined to accept you.
Gwendolyn,
Yes, Mr. Worthing, what have you got to say to me?
you know what I've got to say to you.
Yes, but you don't say it.
Gwendolyn Fairfax, will you marry me?
Of course I will, darling. How long you have been about it? I'm afraid you've had very little experience in how to propose.
My own one. I've never loved anyone in the world but you.
What wonderfully blue eyes you have, Ernest. They're quite blue. I hope you always look at me just like that, especially when there are other people present.
Mr. Worthing, sir, rise from this semi-recumbent position. It is most indecorous.
Mamma, I must ask you to retire. This is no place for you, and besides, Mr. Worthing has not quite finished yet.
Finished what, may I ask?
I'm engaged to be married!
Gwendolyn, you are certainly nothing of the kind. When you do become engaged to someone, I or your father, his health permitting, will inform you of the fact. And now, Mr. Worthing, I have some questions for you, sir. Gwendolyn, while I make these inquiries, you will wait for me down in the carriage.
Mamma.
In the carriage, Gwendolyn,
Yes,
carriage!
Mamma.
Hey! Mr. Worthing. Is it not
Yes,
your
yes, Mr. Worthing.
Yes,
You may take a seat, Mr. Worthing.
thank you, but I prefer standing.
I feel bound to tell you that you're not down on my list of eligible young men, though I have the same list as the dear Duchess of Bolton has. We work together, in fact. However, I am prepared to add your name, should your answers be what a truly affectionate mother requires. Do you smoke?
Well, yes, I must admit I smoke, Lady Bracknell.
I am glad to hear it. A man should always have an occupation of some kind. There are far too many idle men in London. How old are you?
29.
A very good age to be married at. I have always been of the opinion that a man who desires to get married should either know everything or nothing. Which do you know?
I know nothing, Lady Bracknell.
I am pleased to hear it. I do not approve of anything that tampers with natural ignorance. Ignorance is like a delicate exotic fruit. Touch it, and the bloom is gone. The whole theory of modern education is radically unsound. Fortunately, in England, at any rate, education produces no effect whatsoever. If it did, it would prove a serious threat to the upper classes and probably lead to acts of violence in Grosvenor Square.
Wow.
What is your income?
750,000 a year, Lady Bracknell.
In land or investments?
In investments, chiefly.
That is satisfactory.
Although I do have a country house as well, with some land attached to it. About 1,500 acres, I believe. Although I don't rely on that for my main income.
A country house?
Yes.
How many bedrooms? Wait, we can come to that afterwards. Now to minor matters. Are your parents living?
I have lost both my parents, Lady Bracknell.
To lose one parent, Mr. Worthing, may be regarded a misfortune. To lose both looks like carelessness. Who was your father?
Well, I'm afraid I really don't know. You see, I'd said I'd lost both my parents. It would be nearer the truth to say my parents seem to have lost me. I don't actually know who I am by birth. I was found.
Found.
Yes. Old Mr. Thomas Carr, you very charitable and kindly gentleman, found me and gave me the name of Worthing because he happened to have a first-class ticket to Worthing at the time.
Worthing's a place in Sussex. It's a seaside resort.
Where did this charitable gentleman with a first-class ticket to this seaside resort find you?
In a handbag.
A handbag!
A rather large old leather handbag. With handles to it. An ordinary handbag, in fact.
In what locality did this Mr. James Thomas Cardew find this ordinary handbag?
In the cloakroom at Victoria Station. It was given to him in mistake for his own.
A cloakroom at Victoria Station?
Yes, the Brighton line!
The line is immaterial! Mr. Wedding, I must confess that I feel somewhat bewildered by what you have just told me. To be born, or at any rate bred in a handbag, whether it has handles or not, seems to me to display a contempt for the ordinary decencies of family life. It can hardly be regarded as an assured basis for a recognized position in good society.
Well, what would you advise me to do, Lady Bracknell? I need hardly say I would do anything at all to ensure Gwendolyn's happiness.
I would strongly advise you, Mr. Worthing, to try and acquire some relations as soon as possible, and to produce at any rate one parent of either sex before the season is quite over.
I don't see how I could possibly manage that. I can produce the handbag at any moment. It's in my dressing room at home. I really think that should satisfy you, Lady Bracknell.
Me? What has it got to do with me? You can hardly imagine that I and Lord Bracknell would dream of allowing our only daughter, a girl brought up with the utmost care, to marry into a cloakroom and form an alliance with a puzzle. Good morning, Mr. Wedding, wasting my time.
Good morning. For God's sake, stop playing that ghastly tune, Algernon. How idiotic you are.
Didn't it go off all right, old boy? Oh, you don't mean to say Gwendolyn refused you?
Oh, Gwendolyn's as right as a trivet. As far as she's concerned, we're engaged. Her mother, on the other hand, is a gorgon. I don't really know what a gorgon is, but I'm sure Lady Bracknell is one. In any case, she's a monster without being a myth, which is rather unfair. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't talk about your relatives that way before you.
My dear fellow, I love hearing my relations abused. It's the only thing that makes me put up with them at all. Relations are simply a tedious pack of people who haven't the remotest knowledge of how to live, nor the smallest instinct about when to die.
You don't think there's any chance of Gwendolyn becoming like her mother in about 150 years?
All women become like their mothers. That is their tragedy. No man does. That's his. By the way, did you tell Gwendolyn the truth about your being Earnest in town and Jack in the country?
The truth isn't the sort of thing one tells to a sweet, simple, innocent girl. Besides, I'm going to get rid of Ernest. I'll say he died in Paris of a severe chill. That gets rid of him.
But didn't you say that Cousin Cecily was a little too fond of your poor brother Ernest? Won't she feel his loss a good deal?
No, that's all right. Cecily, I'm glad to say, is not a silly, romantic girl. She's got a capital appetite, goes on long walks, and pays no attention at all to her lessons.
I'd very much like to see Cecily.
I will take very good care that you don't. She's excessively pretty and only just 18.
Well, have you told Gwendolyn that you have an excessively pretty ward who's only just 18?
You don't just blurt these things out. Besides, Gwendolyn and Cecily are sure to be great friends. I bet you anything you like. Half an hour after they've met, they'll be calling each other sister.
Women only do that after they've called each other a lot of other things first. Gwendolyn, upon my word.
Algie, kindly turn your back.
particular I want to say to Mr. Ernest Welling. Really, Gwendolyn, I don't think I can allow this at all. Ernest, we may never be married. And from the look on Mamma's face, I fear we never shall. But though she may prevent us from being man and wife, nothing that she can possibly do can alter my eternal devotion to you.
Oh, my darling.
The story of your romantic origin, as related to me by Mamma, has naturally stirred the deeper fibers of my nature. Your town address in the Albany I have. What is your address in the country?
The Manor House, Walton, Hertfordshire.
The Manor House, Walton, Hertfordshire. It may be necessary to do something desperate.
Oh, my darling.
How long you remain in town, darling?
Till Monday.
Oh, good. Algie. Yes. You can turn around now. Thanks, I already have. And Algie. What? Ring the bell for the carriage.
My darling, let me walk you down to your carriage.
Certainly, darling. Now, what did they say? What's the address in the country? Manor House, Walton, Hertfordshire. Thank you, team. Lane,
Yes, sir.
pack my bags. Tomorrow, I'm going bumpering.
Yes, sir.
Shall we?
Shall we?
Some atmosphere?
Oh,
That'll be
atmosphere.
nice.
Right, Londoners, let's name some country noises. Anything, shout it out, you can't be wrong.
Ooh.
Excellent, love that. That's what that was. Lovely. Oh, excellent, lovely. Get some bird songs. Lovely. Slap your wings. Excellent. Keep it going.
Thanks to you, we are now at the Manor House, Walton, Hertfordshire.
Some of you might recognize this as the African savannah, but it is in fact the English countryside. The importance of being earnest, Act 2.
Prism, where is that baby? Prism, where is that baby? Cecily? Cecily! Surely such a utilitarian occupation as the watering of flowers is rather the gardener's duty than yours. Especially intellectual pleasures await you. Your German grammar is on the table. Pray turn to page 15. We'll repeat yesterday's lesson.
But I see Dr. Chasuble coming up through the garden.
Dr. Chasuble, this is indeed a pleasure.
Good afternoon, Miss Prism. You are, I trust, well.
Oh, Miss Prism has just been complaining of a slight headache. I think it would do her so much good to have a short stroll in the park with you, Doctor.
Cecily, I said nothing about a headache.
I know that, Miss Prism, but I felt instinctively that you had a headache. Indeed, I was thinking about that and not my German lesson when the rector came in.
Cecily, I hope you are not inattentive. Were I fortunate enough to be Miss Prism's pupil, I would hang upon her lips. I spoke metaphorically. My metaphor was drawn from bees. Mr. Worthing, I suppose, has not returned from town yet.
We do not expect him till Monday afternoon.
Well, I shall not disturb Egeria and her pupil any longer.
Egeria, my name is Letitia, Doctor.
A classical allusion merely, drawn from the pagan authors. I shall see you both, no doubt, at evensong.
I think I will have a walk with you, dear Doctor. I find I have a headache after all, and a walk might do it good.
With pleasure, Miss Prison, with pleasure. We might go as far as the schools and back, huh?
That would be delightful. Cecily, you'll read your political economy in my absence.
Miss Cardew, Mr. Earnest Worthing has just driven up from the station. He's brought his luggage with him. Here's his card.
Mr. Ernest Worthing, B for the Albany W, Uncle Jack's brother. Did you tell him Mr. Worthing was still in town?
Yes, miss, and he seemed very disappointed. I said that you and Miss Prism were in the garden, and he said he was anxious to speak to you in private for a moment.
Oh, I suppose you'd better tell him to come in. And better speak to the housekeeper about a room for him, Merriman.
Yes, miss.
I've never really met any wicked person before. Oh, I feel rather frightened.
You must be my little cousin Cecily.
Oh, you're into some strange illusion. Well, not little. In fact, I believe I'm more than usually tall for my age. But you, I see from your card, are Uncle Jack's brother. My cousin Ernest. My wicked cousin Ernest.
Oh, you must not think that I'm wicked, Cousin Cecily. I'm not really wicked.
Well, if you're not, you have certainly been deceiving us all in a very inexcusable manner. I hope you've not been leading a double life, pretending to be wicked and being really good all the time. That would be hypocrisy.
Oh, well, I have been rather reckless.
I'm glad to hear it.
In fact, I've been very bad in my own small way.
I don't think you should be so proud of that.
Well, I'm sure it must have been very pleasant.
It's much pleasanter being here with you.
I can't understand how you were here at all. Uncle Jack won't be back till Monday afternoon.
Well, that's a great disappointment. I got up on the first train on Monday morning. I have a business appointment that I'm anxious to miss.
But couldn't you miss it anywhere but in London?
Oh, the appointment's in London.
Oh, well, I know, of course, how important it is not to keep a business engagement if one wants to retain any sense of the beauty of life. But still, I think you better wait till Uncle Jack arrives. I know he wants to talk to you about your emigrating.
My what?
You're emigrating? Oh, he said at dinner on Wednesday night.
Ernest will have to choose between this world, the next world, and Australia.
Well, the accounts I received of Australia and the next world are not particularly encouraging. This world is good enough for me, Cousin Cecily.
Yes, but are you good enough for it?
I'm afraid I'm not that. Oh, which is why I want you to reform me. You might make that your mission this afternoon, if you don't mind.
I'm afraid I have no time this afternoon.
Well, do you mind my reforming myself this afternoon?
It is rather quixotic of you, but I think you should try.
I will. Now I feel better already.
You're looking a little worse.
That's because I'm hungry.
How thoughtless of me. I should have remembered that when one is going to lead an entirely new life,
never have any appetite unless I have a buttonhole first.
A Maréchal Neil?
No, I'd sooner a pink rose.
Why?
Because you are like a pink rose, Cousin Cecily.
I don't think it can be right for you to talk to me like that. Miss Prism never said such things to me.
Then Miss Prism is a short-sighted old lady. You're the prettiest girl I ever saw.
Miss Prism says that all good looks are a snare.
They're a snare every sensible man would love to be caught in.
Yeah, don't think I'd care to catch a sensible man, but I wouldn't know what to talk to him about. Prism! Prism!
Where is that baby?
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 Prism! Prism!
Where is that baby? Prism, prism, where is that baby? Prism, prism, where is that baby? Prism, prism, where is that baby?
Come, sit down.
You're too much alone, dear doctor. You should get married.
Letitia, the precept as well as the practice of the primitive church was distinctly against matrimony.
That is obviously why the primitive church has not lasted till the present day. And what you don't seem to realize, dear doctor, is that by persistently remaining single, a man converts himself into a permanent public temptation. Men should really be more careful. This very celibacy leads weaker vessels astray.
But is a man not equally attractive when married?
No married man is ever attractive except to his wife.
And often I've been told, not even to her.
That depends on the intellectual sympathies of the woman. Maturity can be relied on. Ripeness can be trusted. Young women are green. I spoke horticulturally. My metaphor was drawn from fruits. But where is Cecily?
Oh, perhaps she followed us to the schools and back, huh?
We got time?
We've got time, Letitia. Come, baby, Letitia.
Come, baby.
Come, Letitia.
Bless me, doctor.
My sugar dumpling. Letitia, look there. Mr. Worthy!
Indeed, this is a surprise. We do not look for you till Monday afternoon.
I have returned sooner than I expected. Dr. Chasuble, I hope you are well. Oh, Mr. Worthing! Mr. Worthing, I trust this garb of woe does not betoken some terrible calamity. My brother,
More shameful debts and extravagance?
still leading his life of pleasure, dead. Your brother, Earnest, dead. Quite dead.
What a lesson for him. I trust he'll profit by it.
Mr. Worthy, can I offer you my sincere condolences? You have at least the consolation of knowing that you were always the most generous and forgiving of brothers. Poor Earnest, he had many faults, but it is a sad, sad blow. Very sad indeed. Were you with him at the end? No, he died abroad, in Paris in fact. I had a telegram, from the manager of the Grand Hotel late last night. Was the cause of death mentioned? A severe chill, it seems.
As a man so shall he reap.
Charity again is prison. Charity. None of us are perfect. I myself, peculiarly susceptible to drafts. Mr. Worthy, will the interment take place here here that hardly points to any very serious state of mind at the last. You will no doubt wish me, Mr. Webby, to make some slight allusion to this tragic domestic affliction next Sunday. My sermon on the meaning of the manna in the wilderness can be adapted to almost any occasion, joyful or, as in the present case, distressing. I appreciated harvest celebrations, christenings, confirmations, days of humiliation and festal days. Letitia, the last time I delivered it was in the cathedral as a charity sermon on behalf of the Society for the Prevention of Discontent among the Upper Orders. The bishop who was present, he was much struck by some of the analogies that I drew. That reminds me, of course, you're christening all the time, aren't you? The fact is, Dr. Chasuble, I would like to be christened myself this afternoon, if you have nothing better to do. But surely, Mr. Webby, you have already been christened. Well, I don't remember anything about it. Have you any grave doubts on the subject? Well, I certainly intend to have. At what hour would you wish the ceremony performed? 5:30, do? Admirably! Admirably! And now, Letitia, Miss Prison, I will not intrude any longer into a house of sorrow. I would merely beg you not to be too much bogged down with what seem to us are often blessings in disguise.
This seems a blessing of an extremely obvious kind.
Well, that gets rid of Ernest, doesn't it? Right, how's everybody feeling? Following the story? Excellent. I need... Can you come with me, sir? Multi-rolling thing, it gets very tiring. You stand out here, face out to these beautiful people, and then you're going to pretend to be me as Jack, so you've got a pair of braces. Excellent, beautiful.
Thank you.
And then everybody else is doing country noises, so can I get my atmosphere again? Your brother, Ernest! He arrived about half an hour ago. Uncle Jack, don't say that. However badly he might have behaved, he's still your brother. You couldn't be so heartless as to disown him. I'll tell him to come out, and you will shake hands with him, won't you, Uncle Jack?
Brother John, I've come down from town expressly to tell you that I'm terribly sorry for all the trouble that I've caused you, and I intend to lead a better life in the future. Put it there, old chap.
Uncle Jack, if you don't shake hands with Ernest, I will never forgive you. Never,
not allow any bunburying here. You've got to leave.
Well, I don't like your clothes. You look perfectly ridiculous in them. It's completely childish to be mourning for a man who's actually staying with you for a whole week as a guest in your house. I call it grotesque.
You're certainly not staying with me for a whole week as a guest or anything else. You've got to
I
go!
said you won't leave so long as you're in mourning. It'll be most unfriendly of me.
Well, will you go if I change my clothes?
Yes, as long as you don't take too long about it. I've never known anyone to take so long to dress and with such little result.
Your vanity is ridiculous. Your conduct an outrage. And your presence in my garden, Algernon, utterly absurd. This bunburying, as you call it, has not been a great success for you.
I think it has been a great success. I'm in love with Cecily, and that's all that matters. But I must see her to make arrangements for another Bunbury. Ooh, there she is.
Oh, I nearly came back to water my roses. I thought you were with Uncle Jack.
He's going to send me away.
Then have we got to part?
I'm afraid so. It's very painful parting. Cecily, I hope you won't mind me stating, quite openly and frankly, that you seem to me to be in every possible way the visible personification of absolute perfection.
I think your frankness does you great credit, Ernest.
Cecily, ever since I looked upon your wonderful and incomparable beauty, I dared to love you wildly, passionately, devotedly, hopelessly.
I don't think you should tell me that you love me wildly, passionately, devotedly, hopelessly. Oh, well, hopelessly doesn't make much sense, does it?
Cecily, I don't care for anyone in the whole world but you. You will marry me, won't you?
Yes, of course. You silly boy. Well, we've already been engaged for the last 3 months.
For the last 3 months?
Yes, it'll be exactly 3 months on Thursday.
But how do we become engaged?
Well, ever since dear Uncle Jack first confessed to us that he had a younger brother who was wicked and bad, whew, you, of course, have formed the chief topic of conversation between myself and Miss Prism. And, of course, the man who is much talked about is always very attractive. Oh, one feels there must be something in him after all. I dare say it was foolish of me, but I fell in love with you, Ernest.
What a perfect angel you are, Cecily.
You mustn't laugh at me, darling.
What, darling?
But it had always been a girlish dream of mine to love someone whose name was Earnest. There is something in that name that seems to inspire one with absolute confidence. Indeed, let's see. You, sir, is your name Earnest? I'm so sorry. So sorry, madam. Indeed, I pity any poor married woman whose husband is not called Ernest.
But, my dear child, you don't mean to say you couldn't love me if I had some other name?
But what other name?
Oh, any name you like. Algernon, for instance.
I don't like the name of Algernon.
Well, my dear, darling, sweet, loving Cecily, I really don't see why you should object to the name of Algernon. But seriously, Cecily, if my name was Algie, couldn't you love me?
I might admire you, Ernest. I might respect your character. But I fear I should not be able to give you my undivided attention.
Cecily, your rector here is, I suppose, thoroughly experienced in all the rites and ceremonials of the church.
Oh, yes, Dr. Chasuble's a most learned man.
I must see him at once on a most important christening. I mean, most important business.
Oh.
I shan't be away more than half an hour.
I think it is rather hard of you to leave me for so long a period as...
Will you make it 20 minutes?
I'll be back in no time.
What an impetuous boy he is.
like his hair so much. I must enter his proposal in my diary.
Miss Cardew
Huh?
and Miss Gwendolyn Fairfax has just driven up from London.
Who?
I really loved your hoteneck there. It's lovely. What beautiful flowers. Yellow and white and green. A beautiful hat you've got there. I love your cycling outfit and your socks. Darling, beautiful to see you. Oh, wow. Oh, pink in the back there. Wonderful. Oh, wow.
Pray, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Cecily Cardew.
Cecily Cardew. What a very sweet name. Something tells me we are going to be great friends. I like you already more than I can say. My first impressions of people are never wrong.
How nice of you to like me so much after we have known each other such a comparatively short time. Pray, sit down.
I may call you Cecily, may I not?
Oh, with pleasure.
And you will always call me Gwendolyn, won't you?
If you wish.
Well, that settles it then, doesn't it?
I hope so.
Perhaps this is a favourable opportunity for my mentioning who I am. My father is Lord Bracknell. You have never heard of Papa, I suppose.
I don't think so.
Cecily,
Huh?
Mamma, whose views on education are remarkably strict, has brought me up to be very short-sighted. It's part of her system. So, do you mind my looking at you up close?
Not at all, Gwendolyn. I'm very fond of being looked at.
You are here on a short visit, I suppose.
Oh no, I live here.
Really? Your mother or some female relative of advanced years resides here also.
Oh no, I have no mother, nor in fact any relations.
Indeed.
Yes, I live here with my guardian and his prisoner.
Your guardian.
I am Mr. Worthing's ward.
Oh, how strange. You never mentioned to me that he had a ward. How very secretive of him. He grows more interesting hourly. I am unsure, however, that the news inspires me with feelings of unmixed delight. I'm very fond of you, Cecily. I've liked you ever since I met you. But I feel bound to state that now that I know that you're Mr. Worthing's ward, I can't help expressing a wish that you were, well, just a little older than you seem to be, and not quite so very alluring in appearance.
Alluring?
In fact, if I may speak,
Oh, pray do. I feel that whenever anyone has anything unpleasant to say, one should always be quite candid.
well, to speak with perfect candor, Cecily, I wish you were fully 42, and more than usually plain for your age. Ernest has a strong, upright nature. He's a very soul of truth and honour. But even men of the noblest possible moral character are highly susceptible to the influence of the physical charms of others.
I beg your pardon, Gwendolyn, but did you say Ernest?
Yes?
Oh, it is not Ernest who is my guardian. It is his brother, his elder brother.
Oh, he never mentioned to me that he had a brother.
Oh, well, I'm afraid they've not been on the best of terms for some time.
Ah, that accounts for it. In fact, now that I think on the subject, I've never heard any man mention his brother. The subject seems distasteful to most men. Cecily, you've lifted a load from my mind. I was growing almost anxious. It would be terrible if a cloud came over a great friendship like ours, would it not? Of course, you are quite certain that it is not Mr. Earnest Worthing who is your guardian.
Oh, quite certain. In fact, I am going to be his. Oh, there's no reason why I should make a secret of it to you, Gwendolyn. Our newspapers are sure to chronicle the fact next week. Mr. Ernest Worthing and I are engaged to be married.
There must be some slight error. Darling Cecily, Mr. Ernest Worthing is engaged to me. The announcement will appear in the Morning Post next Saturday at the latest.
You're under some strange illusion. Ernest proposed to me exactly 10 minutes ago. You all saw it
I do so. I never travel without my diary. One always needs something sensational to read on the train. I'm sorry if it's any disappointment to you, my darling Cecily, but I have the prior claim. Are you with me? Oh, can you have that? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hey.
Wait. Anybody can get a high five.
Don't feel obliged. Don't worry. Be cool.
Leave my people alone. It would distress me more than I can tell you, darling Gwendolyn, if it caused you any physical or mental anguish. But I feel bound to point out, since Ernest proposed to you, he has clearly changed his mind.
If the poor fellow has got himself entrapped in any foolish promise, I shall consider it my moral duty to rescue him at once and with a firm hand.
Oh, whatever entanglement my dear boy may have gotten himself into, I will never reproach him with it after we're married.
Do you allude to me, Miss Cardew, as an entanglement? You are presumptuous. At a time like this, it becomes more than a pleasure and a moral duty to speak one's mind. It absolutely becomes a pleasure! Bring it!
Everybody stop hissing. And have not neither. Do you suggest, Miss Fairfax, that I entrap Ernest into an engagement? Yes. How dare you? Now is not the time for wearing the shallow mask of manners. When I see a spade, I call it a spade.
Everybody start booing. I am glad to say I have never seen a spade. Obviously, our social spheres are widely different. Stage direction. Merriman interrupts them. Shall I lay the tea here in the garden as usual?
Yes, as usual, Merriman. Can I offer you some tea, Miss Fairfax?
Yes. Detestable girl, but I require tea.
Sugar?
No, thank you. Sugar is not fashionable anymore.
Cake or bread and butter?
Bread and butter, please. Cake is rarely seen in the best houses nowadays.
Hand that to Miss Fairfax, Merriman. Thank you!
You have filled my tea with lumps of sugar. Now I asked you most distinctly for bread and butter. You've given me cake. I am known for the sweetness of my disposition, the extraordinary gentleness of my character. But I warn you, Miss Cardew, you may go too far.
To save my sweet. There are no lengths to which I would not go.
From the moment I saw you, I knew I could not trust you. I felt you were false and deceitful. I am never deceived on such matters. My first impressions of people are invariably right.
It seems to me, Miss Fairfax, that I'm trespassing on your valuable time. No doubt you've many other calls of a similar character. Termination the
Ernest, my own Ernest.
Gwendolyn, darling.
A moment. May I ask whether you're engaged to be married to this young lady?
To what? To Cecily? Of course not. Whatever could have put such an idea into a pretty little head?
Thank you. You may.
Oh, I knew there must be some mistake. Miss Fairfax, the gentleman who is at present embracing you is my guardian, Mr. John Worthing.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, this is Uncle Jack.
Jack.
Keep doing that. I'm just fixing my brace.
Here comes Earnest.
My own love.
A moment. Are you engaged to be married to this young lady?
To what, young lady? Good heavens, Gwendolyn!
Yes, to good heavens, Gwendolyn.
You mean Gwendolyn?
I mean Gwendolyn.
Of course not. What could have put such an idea in your pretty little head?
Thank you. You may.
I knew there must be some slight error misclad you. The man who is currently embracing you is my cousin, Mr. Algernon Moncrief.
Is your name really Alf? Is your name really Algernon?
I do not deny it. Is your name really Jack?
It certainly is Jack. It has been Jack for years.
Be Cecily.
It seems to me some gross deception has been practiced on both of us.
My poor wounded Cecily.
My sweet friend Gwendolyn.
You will always call me sister, won't you?
There is just one question I would like to be allowed to ask my guardian.
Ask him.
Where is your brother Earnest? Gwendolyn, Cecily, it's very painful for me to be forced to speak the truth. However, I will tell you both quite frankly, I have no brother Earnest.
Had you never a brother of any kind?
Never, not even of any kind.
It appears, my darling Cecily, that neither of us is engaged to be married to anyone.
It's not a very pleasant position for a young girl suddenly to find herself in, is it?
Let us go into the house. They will hardly venture to come after us there.
No. Men are such cowards, aren't they? This ghastly state of things, Algernon, is what you call bunburying, I suppose. Your friend Bunbury is quite exploded. You won't be able to run off down to the country quite so often as you used to do. And a very good thing, too.
Well, your brother is a little off colour, isn't he, Jack? You won't be able to disappear down to London quite as often as your wicked custom was, and not a bad thing either.
As for your conduct towards Miss Cardew, I must say, Algernon, your taking in of a sweet, simple, innocent girl like that is quite inexcusable, to say nothing of the fact that she's my ward.
Well, I can see no defence possible for your deceiving a brilliant, clever, thoroughly experienced young woman like Miss Fairfax, to say nothing of the fact that she's my cousin.
I am in love with Gwendolyn. I want to be married to her, that is all.
I adore Cecily. I want to be married to her, that is all.
There is no chance, Algernon, of your marrying Cecily.
Well, I don't think there's much chance of you and Miss Fairfax being united, Jack.
Stage directions. Algernon eats muffins. How you can sit there, calmly eating muffins. When we are in this terrible trouble I can't make out, you seem to me to be perfectly heartless.
When I'm in trouble, eating is the only thing that consoles me. Indeed, when I'm in really great trouble, as anyone who knows me intimately would tell you, I refuse everything except food and drink. At this present moment, I'm eating muffins because I'm unhappy. Besides, I'm particularly fond of muffins.
Well, there's no reason why you should eat them all in that greedy way.
I wish you'd have tea cake, Jack. I don't like tea cake.
Good heaven. I suppose a man would eat his own tea cake in his own garden.
But you just said it was perfectly heartless to eat muffins.
I said it was perfectly heartless of you under the circumstances. That's an entirely different thing.
That may be, but the muffins are the same. Give them back to me.
Algernon, I wish you would go.
You haven't asked me to have my dinner yet. I never go without having my dinner. Hardly anyone does except vegetarians and people like that. Besides, I've just made arrangements with Dr. Chasuble to be christened at 5:45 under the name of Earnest.
The sooner you let go of that nonsense, the better. I made arrangements this morning.
Would you mind if we went in for a little bit? There's so much you can say there, didn't we? Hang on to Jack, splendid, lovely Jack. Cecily, wonderful. You can stay there for a little bit and we can share Algernon. Perfect. Recast. Cecily Cardew, Algernon Creek, Gwendolyn Fairbanks, and Jack Worthing. On with the show.
Smells like cows. Looks like my country. Gwendolyn! Gwendolyn!
Yes, Mama. Yes,
Sit down. Come here. Gwendolyn, you're prettier than the last time I saw you. All right, Gwendolyn, sit down. Sit down immediately. Hesitation of any kind is a sign of mental decay in the young, a physical weakness in the old. Mr. Worthing, sir. Apprised, sir, of my daughter's sudden flight by her trusty maid, whose confidence I purchased by means of a small coin. I followed her immediately by a luggage train. Her unhappy father is, I am glad to say, under the impression that she is currently attending a more than usually lengthy lecture by the University Extension Scheme on the influence of a permanent income on thought. I do not propose to undeceive him. Indeed, I have never undeceived him on any question. I would consider it wrong. But you, Mr. Worthing, sir, will understand that all communication between yourself and my daughter will cease immediately from this moment on this point, as indeed on all points. I am fair.
Jack, tell Lady Bracknell you're engaged to be married. And feel free, Gwendolyn, tell her you're engaged to be married. Tell her. Shout it out.
I'm engaged to be married.
Yes. Say it. We're engaged. They're engaged.
I too am engaged to be married.
You are certainly nothing of the kind. Algernon! Algie! Ah, where is this boy?
Yes, Aunt Augusta.
Algernon, is this the house where your invalid friend Mr. Bunbury resides?
Oh, no. Bunbury doesn't live here. Bunbury's not here at present. In fact, Bunbury's dead.
Dead? His death must have been extremely sudden. What did he die of? Bunbury?
Bunbury. He was quite exploded.
Exploded? Was he the victim of a revolutionary outrage? I had no idea that Mr. Bunbury had sympathies for social legislation. If so, he is well punished for his morbidity.
What I mean, Aunt Augusta, is that Bunbury was found out. The doctors found out that Bunbury could live. That's what I mean. Therefore, Bunbury died.
Seems to have had great confidence in the opinion of his physicians. However, I'm glad that this Mr. Bunbury decided on a definite course of action at last. And now that we've got rid of this Mr. Bunbury, can I ask you, Mr. Worthing, who is that?
girl whose hand my nephew Algernon is now holding in what seems to me a peculiarly unnecessary manner. Who is that?
On the tip of my tongue.
Cecily Cardew and I are engaged to be married, Aunt Augusta.
I beg your pardon.
Just say it louder.
I do not know. Are you finished, young lady?
Yes, we're terribly in love.
Okay. I do not know whether there is anything peculiarly exciting in the air in this particular part of Hertfordshire. But the number of engagements that go on seem to me considerably above the average that statistics have laid out for our guidance. Some preliminary inquiries on my part would not be out of place. Mr. Worthing, can I ask you, is Miss Cardew associated with any of the larger railway stations in London?
I'm sure it's on the tip of his tongue. Nevertheless, you were. Yeah. Come on. Sure.
Miss Cardew is the granddaughter of the late Mr. Thomas Cardew, of 149 Belgrave Square, SW, of Gervais Park, Dorking, Surrey, and of the Spore in Fifeshire, Northumberland.
3 addresses always inspires confidence. But what proof do I have of their authenticity?
Oh, bless you. I have carefully preserved the court documents of the time, Lady Bracknell. They're open to your inspection.
The court documents have known strange errors in that publication.
Miss Cardew's family solicitors are Messrs. Mark B, and Mark B.
Mark B, and Mark B, a firm of the very highest position in their profession. Gwendolyn, the time approaches for our departure. There's not a moment to lose. Wait, Mr. Worthing, I might ask as a matter of form whether Miss Cardew has any small fortune.
Well, let's have a look, shall we? Oh yes, Miss Cardew has about a million. Miss Cardew has about £10 million. That is all, Lady Bracknell.
£10 million in the funds. Miss Cardew seems a most attractive young lady now that I look at her. Few girls of the present age have any of the really solid qualities, those that last and improve with time. We live, I regret to say, in an age of Cephasus. Please stand up, pretty girl. Oh, your dress is sadly simple, and your hair almost as nature might have left it. What's all that? Please turn around, dear child. Wait, the side view is what I want. Yes, just as I suspected, there are distinct social possibilities in your profile. The 2 weak points of the present age are its lack of principle and its lack of profile. This chin a little higher, dear. Yes, style largely depends on the way the chin is worn. They're worn very high at present. Algernon.
Say yes, Aunt Augusta.
Yes, Aunt Augusta. Good boy. There are distinct social possibilities in Miss Cardew's profile.
Say Cecily is the sweetest, dearest girl.
Cecily is the sweetest, dearest girl.
And I don't care tuppence for social possibilities.
I don't care tuppence for social possibilities.
Never speak disrespectfully about society, Algernon. Only people who can't get into it do that. Of course, dear child, you know that Algernon has nothing but his debts to rely upon. Oh well, I give my consent to the marriage. Clap for them.
of my consent. And that consent I absolutely decline to give.
On what grounds? Algernon is an extremely, I may almost say ostentatiously eligible young man. He has nothing, but he looks everything. What more could one desire?
It pains me very much to have to speak so frankly about your nephew, Lady Bracknell. But the fact of the matter is, I do not approve of Algernon's character. I suspect him of being untruthful.
Untruthful? My nephew, Algernon, impossible! He went to Oxford.
Be that as it may, there can be no possible doubt about the matter. This afternoon, during my temporary absence in London, on an important question of romance, Algernon obtained admission into my house by the false pretense of being my brother. And what makes his conduct all the more heartless is that he is perfectly well aware of the fact that I have no brother. I never had a brother, and I don't intend to have a brother, not even of any kind. I distinctly told him so myself yesterday afternoon.
On careful consideration, I decided to entirely overlook my nephew's conduct to you. I don't care.
It is very generous of you, Lady Bracknell, but my decision remains unalterable. I decline to give my consent.
I would beg you, Mr. Worthing, to reconsider your decision.
Well, the matter's entirely in your hands. If you would consent to my marrying Gwendolen, I will allow your nephew to form an alliance with my ward.
You must be aware that what you propose is completely out of the question.
Well, then a passionate celibacy is all that any of us can look forward to.
That is not the destiny I propose for Gwendolen.
Mr. Worthing, everything is ready for the christenings, huh? Not now, Dr. Chasuble, not now. I am grieved to hear such sentiments from you, Mr. Worthing. They favor the heretical views of the Anabaptists, views that I have refuted in 4 of my unpublished sermons. But seeing as your current mood seems to me peculiarly secular, I will retire myself to the vestry. Indeed, I've just been informed by the pew opener that Miss Prism has been waiting for me for the last hour and a half.
Prism! Did I hear you say Miss Prism?
Yes, Lady Bracknell.
Pray, let me detain you for some moments. This matter may prove to be of vital importance to Lord Bracknell and I. Is this Miss Prism a female of repellent aspect? Remotely connected to education?
She's the most cultivated of ladies. The very picture of respectability.
It is obviously the same person. Pray, may I ask, what position does she hold in your household?
I am celibate, madam. But she has been Miss Cadger's esteemed governess for the last 3 years.
In spite of what I hear of her, I must see her at once. Let her be sent for.
Oh, she approaches. Oh, she's nigh. Go and approach, go and be nigh. Prison. Where is that baby? 28 years ago, you left Lord Bracknell's house, number 104, Upper Grosvenor Street, in charge of a perambulator that contained a baby of the male sex. You never returned. It took many weeks of elaborate investigation by the Metropolitan Police before that perambulator was discovered, standing alone at midnight in a remote corner of Bayswater. In it was a 3-volume novel of a more than usually revolting sentimentality. But the baby was nowhere to be found. So, prison. Where is that baby?
Lady Bracknell, I admit with shame that I do not know.
plain facts of the case are these. On the morning of the day you mention, a day that is forever branded on my memory, I prepared as usual to take the baby out in its perambulator. I had also with me an old but somewhat capacious handbag in which I intended to place the manuscript of a work of fiction that I'd written in my few unoccupied hours. In a moment of mental abstraction, which I can never forgive myself for, I deposited the manuscript in the bassinet, and I placed the baby in the handbag.
Miss Prism, I demand to know, where did you put the handbag? This keeps happening, Hold a moment. Miss Prism, I demand to know, where did you put the handbag with the baby in it?
I left it in one of the larger railway stations in London.
Which railway station?
Victoria.
The Brighton Line. Gwendolyn, wait here for me a moment. I must retire to my room. Examine it carefully before you speak, Miss Prism. The happiness of more than one life depends upon your answer.
It seems to be mine. Yes. Here is the injury I received during the upsetting of a Gower Street omnibus in younger and happier days. And here is a stain on the lining caused by the explosion of a temperance beverage. An incident that occurred in Leamington. And here, on the lock, are my initials. I'd forgotten that in an extravagant mood I'd had them placed there. The bag is undoubtedly mine. I'm delighted to have it so unexpectedly restored to me. It's been a great inconvenience without it all these years.
Miss Prism, more is returned to you than just a bag. I'm the infant you placed in it. You? Yes. Mother.
Mr. Worthing, there is some error. There is the lady who can tell you who you really are.
Lady Bracknell, I don't mean to be inquisitive, but can you kindly tell me who I am?
I'm afraid the news I have to give you will not altogether please you. You are the son of my poor sister, Mrs. Moncrief, and consequently, Algernon's elder brother.
Algernon's elder brother? And I have a brother. I always knew I had a brother. Is that silly? How could you doubt that I had a brother? Gwendolyn, my unfortunate bride. Dr. Chasuble, my unfortunate brother. Miss Prism, my unfortunate brother. Algernon, you've never behaved to me like a brother in all your life. You'll have to treat me with more respect from now on.
Well, not till today, old boy, I admit, though I did my best. But I was out of practice. Our own is your Christian name now that you've become somebody else?
Oh, quite forgotten about all that. Your feelings on my name are irrevocable, I suppose.
Yes. We never change, except in our affections.
Well, let it be cleared at once. Lady Bracknell. At the time at which I had been lost in a handbag, had I already been christened?
Every luxury that money could afford, including christening, had been lavished upon you by your fond and doting parents.
Then I was christened. So what name was I given? Let me know the worst.
Being the eldest son, naturally you were christened after your father.
Yes, but what was my father's Christian name?
I cannot at the present moment recall what the general's Christian name was, but I have no doubt that he had one.
Algernon, can't you recall our father's Christian name?
Hey, no. The general died before Algernon was a year old. They were never even on speaking terms.
His name would appear in the army list of the time, would they not, Lady Bracknell?
The general was essentially a man of peace, except in his domestic life. Terrible joke. But I have no doubt his name will appear in any military directory.
His record should have been my constant study. What? Siri, what was General Moncrief's Christian name? Oh, 1860. General, Christian name. Earnest John? Gwendolyn, you know I told you my name. Well, which one is it?
Just speak to both of us.
Okay, let me do that again. Gwendolyn's.
Yes.
You know I told you my name was Ernest. It is Ernest. I mean, it is quite naturally Ernest.
We felt from the first you could have no other name.
Gwendolyn's.
Yes.
It is quite something for a young man suddenly to realize his whole life he's been telling the truth. Can you ever forgive me?
Yes. For we feel you are sure to change.
Gwendolyn's.
Shall I? Darling Ernest.
At last.
At last. Oh.
Letitia.
Dr. Tajibor. Cecily?
Algernon.
Cecily. At last.
Algernon, get off me.
Jack?
Yes. Brother.
My nephew.
Yes, Aunt Augusta.
You seem to be displaying signs of triviality.
On the contrary, Aunt Augusta, I have realized for the first time in my life the vital importance of being earnest.
is very warm in here, so we're going to open the doors and get some fresh air in. But this performance, go for it. This performance marks the end of our run at Tara Theatre. It also marks the end of about 7 months worth of work, and it celebrates the first 10 years of Two Gents production. We've got our Two Gents co-founder in the house as well, Denton my co-director, Tonrai Mumia, who is up there. And Tonrai, what are you trying to get me to say?
Flowers for Kuzi and Aisha are there.
Are they? So, I was going to do that after the break, but, okay. So, here's some flowers for our lovely cast. Somebody's chosen to not take the price tag off. Okay, so I can see some raffle tickets. There's some more that have magically appeared, but please just take a moment. We'd like to invite you to celebrate with us. We're going to have some music. We're going to do the raffle and just mingle. So. If you just need to get another drink, have a cucumber sandwich, there are some real ones outside. Do that, but come back. And raffle tickets are on sale, same price as just before. So come to me if you want to buy a raffle ticket. Thank you very much. And see you in a few minutes.